Good afternoon, everyone. Snow blankets the Taklimakan Desert, western China, right in the same area as China's building hydroelectric dams. Do they know the cycle's returning? Ancient cities buried in sand. Now, the floodwaters are revealing them. And we're going to start you off right here. China, XinJiang Taklimakan Desert. You'll know this from the Silk Road, starting over in Xi'an, coming through Dunhuang to Turpan, Heitian, and ending in Kashgar right there at the border. See those routes that go above and below the Taklimakan Desert? That's an area when you go in, you don't come out. Even to this day, for the last 1,500 years, settlements are still not there. And interestingly enough, just a few days back, the Beiyin Buluke station in XinJiang, 42.5 degrees Celsius below zero, lowest recorded ever in mid-December, possibly to break the lowest record ever. And you'll see where that blue spot is. That's north in the desert. That's very important. North in the desert. And accompanying that was beyond record snows, 15 centimeters, or about 6 inches in one of the driest places on our planet. Winter-covered snow dunes. We've seen some of this in Africa happening as well. But this is western China in XinJiang. And it is far as the eye can see, literally over the horizon, a better part of half of the desert covered during this single storm. All the rage, people trying to get out there, take their photos as the sands were covered in white for as long as that lasted. Now, we are coming into winter, don't get me wrong, it gets cold every year there, but this absurd amount of snowfall is showing something might be, well, changing into a wetter environment like we're seeing in northern Africa with all the floods as well. So I want to bring you back to last year, 2023. This is January 5th, 2023. You see there's some snow, but it's not nearly as dense. And this is the third year in a row this has been happening. There was a dusting before, and then there was measurable snow last year. And this year, it's record-breaking. So it seems to be a pattern. So we come back, and it made news then as well. And if we look at Landsat 9 satellite imagery here, that detail box, how wide out can we go? Well, pretty wide. If that's 10 kilometers long, which is 6 miles, you're looking at, what, 100 plus miles square here. This storm dwarfed that. And as we come out to the Landsat area here, something around this, but the storm we're looking at currently is in the north along the Altai Mountains, all the way into the desert. So if you were to turn this map upside down, this would be the present area where the storm is. And so far, I haven't found any satellite imagery. If you do, please put it in the comment box below. We'd love to read it, find those images to compare. So what's so interesting about this? Well, the Jilintai Dam, where that red dot is the same exact area where these snowstorms blanketed half of the desert. And I've done a couple stories on this one before as they were trying to do 6 different dams stepping down out of this mountain range. And you look at this and say, is this an area you think that you would put a dam? There's one river running through there called the Cache River. Snowmelt comes once a year. Awesome, you can catch that. But as it dwindles, that's the reason people struggle agriculturally. The water just literally runs out after the snowmelt ends. Nobody likes getting older. One of the biggest reasons why is because our muscles become weaker, making the activities we used to enjoy more difficult to do and less enjoyable. But what if you didn't have to get weaker as you got older? What if you could actually become stronger? Celebrity fitness trainer Tony Horton says he's found a way to turn the impossible into a reality. It's a method anyone can do that takes about 1 to 2 minutes a day, and within a very short period of time, you can start to feel stronger, probably healthier than you have in years. Health experts have long believed age-related muscle loss is simply an inevitable aspect of getting older, but Tony Horton says he's found a much more effective way to help you fight age-related muscle loss and even build new muscle. In fact, the results have been so remarkable, Horton is now the subject of a short report detailing exactly how his body strengthening method works. It's online for free for the public to view and share. Go to tonyprotein.com/adapt now to watch the video yourself. That's protein.com/adapt. Or click on that link in the description box below and find out now. So if you're going to try to base constant hydroelectric power off this little small river coming through here, and you're going to step 6 dams down, you must know something's going to be changing. Or the Chinese had 4,000 years of records running through the Silk Road, knowing that it changes at our doorstep again, and that area will become much more, let's say, moisture laden as the rainfalls continue to increase. Well, just as we're seeing record rains turn into record snowfall. So if they're getting more and more rain, you would expect more and more snow. And the massive building projects, and the reason that China wants to grab and control that area so heavily, is it going to become a new bountiful agricultural zone is the question. Moving forward, food is going to be the most valuable commodity on the planet. It's not going to be gold. It's going to be food. Without the food, we don't have a civilization. We have no society. We don't even get ourselves off the floor with a 5-kilogram gold bar laying next to you. If you can't eat, there's no society. There's nothing to govern. Food is the most important cornerstone bedrock of any civilization. And when that disappears, so does the civilization. Which is why I want to show you these maps from 1917 and the old buried cities that were great at the time, taken over by the sands as the dryness swept the area for 1,500 years. 1917, XinJiang, or XinJiang as we know it today. And there's the desert. Nothing in the middle of it. Have you noticed we've never built there? Why is that? Even with our modern infrastructure, say in the last 50 years, I mean, you'd think they would put cities out there by now. No, nothing. It just, nature is powerful. So I'll bring you down to the bottom here. And if you follow the furthest south road in the desert there, that has been the Silk Road trade route. It has never really moved northward, at least in our time that we understand it. But if you follow that from Chirchen to Kerjia to Khotan, all the way up to Kargilak, and then finally to Kashgar. And that'll, again, that's the border there heading into the other stands like Kyrgyzstan, Kazakhstan, going west over to Istanbul. Now that line, keep it in mind here, because when we look at this map here of the Taklimakan Desert and Tarim Basin ruins, you'll see those 3 dots in pyramids there, sand-buried city. Okay, your demarcation line, follow the highway and look north of that into the center. City, city, city. Endere, Nija, Karadong, Dandan, Mazartag. Buried in the sands, now coming and being excavated out, and rivers near the areas are starting to get moist again, shall we say. So let me put these together. You can see what I mean with the cities that are into the what is a no man's land now. Obviously, that was not a no man's land when there were great cities in abundance well north of the Silk Road. That means that desert was not as big at one time. So I want to bring you into the past here. These are the ruins that have been unearthed. Buddhist monasteries, cities themselves, walls, fortresses, everything in between. These are remnants of a Buddhist temple left to time that, realize these are coming from the 1950s and 40s, these photos here. And this one, Tash Kurgan Fortress, Citadel, all eroded by 1,500 years of high wind and sand-blown erasiveness, if there's a better term. Now these are, well, what's left of once great cities. So what caused that? And the walls are not small. These are vast complexes. If it was 1 or 2 little adobe huts, okay. But you're talking square miles of city walls. Anything rivaling Xi'an, if you've been out there with the walls that are multi-miles long. And restored for visitors to go on out and check out the ruins, but bring extra water. And it literally is in the middle of, well, we consider nowhere in the desert right now. And so interesting here, I had to add this slide after the stock market crash with that bozo chairman saying, hey, we can't control the interest rate. We're never going to get under control, and then crash the markets across the planet. If you put the federal government in charge of the Sahara Desert, in 5 years there'd be a sand shortage. Milton Friedman. one of the top economists ever to live on our planet. And please remember, these changes of society and civilization just come out of nowhere. Boom, one day, and something has changed so quickly, you're just going to need to adjust. Oh, here comes another event: economic collapse, food shortage, embargoes, tariffs that stop trade. We just don't know what it's going to be. Oh, that ran out. Sorry. Hope you're prepared a little bit. And when I say in an instant, I mean things whoosh happen literally in an instant. And our lives are forever changed. So look back in the past, though, and whether it be a cometary impact that flash froze mammoths and the entire northern hemisphere, and whether it's in the Brazil and the Garopaba region, I mean, there are things from our past that we are just discovering. What was here before us and why did it change so drastically should be the question. And are we even allowed to ask that question? What was here before us and what caused it to change so drastically? That'd be like saying New York City turned into a desert and everything you knew in New York City is under the sand, and we just find remnants of some of the overpasses and 8-lane highways and some bridge trusses or something, and that's it, and we try to reconstruct the past. Well, what would have caused New York City to get buried by sand for 1,500 years? Those are the same kind of events that occurred. And this is kind of why I'm asking the same thing. We are in a massive change period right now. All around us, everything is in flux. 2025 is going to be a barn burner, so get ready for it. That's why I'm trying to equate these two and put them together in time. We are at it again. And if you are looking for storable foods, My Patriot Supply and Adapt 2030, that link's in the description box below. 3-month emergency food supply. Every purchase you make helps allow me to do more research to bring you information just like this. Thanks for watching. Hope you got something out of the video. Please share with your friends and family, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.